everyone. We're back, and we're here to share with you, take you on this very incredible adventure that we did the other day.
Yeah, and we just think you're going to have so much fun with us because we had so much fun there. It was amazing.
We had a blast.
And the place that we went to was...
Drum roll. Silver Springs State Park. And that's actually very famous for more than one reason. It's famous, probably most famous, for the fact that Creature from the Black Lagoon, which was made in 1954, was filmed there in the lagoon. And the person who played the creature his name was Rico Browning. And he could hold his breath underwater for 4 minutes.
Which made him an excellent person to have to wear the creature suit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was when you think about it, being able to hold your breath for 4 minutes, that's pretty incredible.
And that was back in the days when they didn't have all the fancy tech stuff that they have now to make it sort of livable in one of those suits. So that's pretty incredible.
Not in 1954.
That's what I said. It was really incredible.
The man who played the land scenes, actually, as the creature, his name was Ben Chapman.
Yeah.
But you know, Rico Browning, he lived to be 93 years old. He was born in 1930, and he just passed away in 2023.
Yeah. So the other things,
I guess having that good light lung capacity.
Yeah, the lung capacity really helped him out.
It gives you a long life, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the secret.
So other things that were filmed there, or at least partially filmed there, were a lot of Johnny Weissmuller's Tarzan movies. Portions of those were all filmed there. There's this amazing thing that we'll actually probably show you a little of later, where there's these statues under the spring, and they're on the floor of the ground under the spring. And those were used in I Spy. And if you remember that old show,
James Bond movie, right?
No.
I Spy was that show with them.
I Spy was
I remember.
Napoleon Solo and Ilya Kuryakin.
No, that was Man from U.N.C.L.E. I Spy was
It was
Bill Cosby and trying to remember his name, and I can picture him.
Robert Culp.
Robert Culp.
Okay, so it was Robert Culp and Bill Cosby was I Spy. Yes, I'm sorry about the misreference.
Well, you know, going back to the Tarzan, the monkeys, the man who developed Silver Springs as a tourist place thought it'd be a great idea to bring in a bunch of monkeys. He thought that would increase the tourists coming to visit Silver Springs, and that they would be really impressed and think that was so cool. And so he brought in all these monkeys, and he set them loose there, and they just went wild.
And what they said was, when he first brought the monkeys to the park, nobody could ever see them, and there weren't that many of them. But there was, what did he say, like 30 or something like that?
Yeah.
That they brought, and now there's over 300 of them.
They just,
and they are not, you don't want to, if you see a monkey, you don't want to talk to the monkey.
Nice.
You don't want to see the monkey. You definitely don't want to be a silly tourist and try to feed the monkey.
No, they're not nice.
They're not
They
nice.
have a reputation of throwing things at people that you don't want to have thrown at you, believe me.
And you've probably heard about what that stuff is that they throw.
It's nasty.
Icky. It's icky.
It's nasty. They're not nice.
But anyway, so that's the monkey end of it. But the things that really are there, the things that have been there for centuries, and some still are, like an amazing animal, the manatee.
And a lot of gators.
A lot of gators.
So when we got there,
And
we're going to
birds.
show you videos,
And
some
turtles.
cool videos of this, because when we got there, of course, we're running late, just like we always do. And we're running through the gate there, you know, the archway, and we run into the park, and we sign in, and then we run through the park. Well, we kind of walked briskly.
We were walking briskly.
We didn't really
weren't
run.
running.
And we get down to the boat dock, and they're calling our name, and we're just in time. And we load on this boat, and it's a glass-bottom boat.
Yeah.
It's glass bottom, and they have these
glass bottom
seats.
boat tour, which is so cool.
They have these seats, and you can peer over the side of the boat, and you can see over in the sides, you can see in the water, and you can see through the glass bottom of the boat.
Underneath the water, and the water's clear enough, you can see all the way to the bottom. It's amazing because this is one of the major hot springs in Florida. But Dawn told me this the other day, and I had missed this when the guy said it apparently, is that all the springs, all these hot springs in Florida are all the same temperature. They're all 72
degrees. From what I understand. Now that's what somebody told me on a tour I took the other day, which I'm going to share with you guys in a later video. But that's what I understand. And anyway, this spring was 72 degrees.
Yeah, and it was 72 degrees, which was really cool. There were lots and lots of kayakers out there, and a lot of people were tourists or people who weren't really familiar with kayaks, but there's people who go there all the time, like some of them every day, just to kayak up the river. It's the Silver River. So Silver Springs is a spring itself, but the river goes off from it. And it then joins the St. Johns River at some point and then goes to the ocean. But it's just an amazing, amazing place. It's thousands of acres, and it's astounding because the conservation has maintained the trees and the birds and the gators.
And the wildlife.
And the wildlife's ability to just do what they've always done. So when you're there, you're slipping into this slice of history where you may not get to see that all the time. There's more of that here than there is in an awful lot of places, and we're really fortunate to be here to see that. But it's just so much fun while we're going down the river, and we see little stationary creatures on a log, and they look like they're all just kind of sitting there in a formation of some sort.
We're gonna let you watch some of them, right?
Yep, you're going to see all of those.
Let's go.
So that's a little
let's cut to
teaser.
the
I'm not
video.
going to tell you any more about that. We're going to start showing you things.
And the captain's going to explain some things.
Yeah, and we'll let the captain explain some
we'll
things
be back
too.
in just a little while.
So we'll see you soon, and we hope you enjoy the video that we're showing you.
Bird Island. We have the anhinga and the cormorant. And the anhinga, the native Indians called the anhinga snake bird. They're the only bird in North America. When they swim on top of the water, the only thing sticking up above the surface is their head and their neck. So from a little bit of a distance, they really do. They look like the snake. And when these birds are out, you hear the little babies up there? Aw. Yep. Oh, all those nests have babies there. But yeah, when they dive under the water to catch a fish, they'll stab their beak right through that fish. And sometimes they stab that beak so far through the fish, they can't get it off. No. That's a great blue heron. Yeah, that is a beautiful bird there. That's an adult. That's an adult, but it's a young adult. This bird will fill out a little bit more. It'll get some more distinct colors. Heron. Oh my goodness, you don't hardly ever see them. I got some binoculars here if anybody wants to look at the bird. Anybody want to use my binoculars? Okay. Yeah, black-crowned night heron. What a beautiful bird. That's actually a Shell station right there. You don't want to get gas there today, okay? It's about 50 cents more than it was yesterday. You might want to let the price drop a little bit. Now, if you have a diesel, oh my goodness. I feel sorry for it, yeah. Diesel's like over $6 a gallon. Now, my wife's brother, Buc-ee's, yeah. What's the deal with the Buc-ee's? I've never been to one. What are they, special or?
Oh, they just have everything.
It's like a big giant gas station.
Go experience one. You can't explain it.
Yeah. I guess they have like 100 gas pumps. And,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, the gas. Okay. Okay. Oh, the cleanest bathrooms. Well, that's good. The tail. That's from being in water that's a little bit too cold for the manatee.
Oh, she's coming
they'll get cold water stress. And if we got frostbite, we might lose a finger or a toe. They'll lose a little chunk off of their thing. I think she's pregnant. Look at her. She's huge, man.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow. Oh my. Well, she'll come back. Huh? Well, they'll come up about every 3 to 5 minutes. Unless they're sleeping, they can stay down for 20 minutes. And then they'll come up and get a breath. They don't have to wake up for that. They can come up automatically, and then they'll just go right back down again and go back to sleep. Or that darker water. But once she's up here in this clear water for about 7 to 10 days, all that stuff will fall off and she'll turn perfectly gray. Wow. I think she's pregnant. She's big. You know, she's very big.
How big is a baby manatee?
The babies are like usually 2 to 3 feet. 80 pounds, maybe something like that. Flipping upside down, doing all kinds of little shenanigans under the boat. They're cute, man. They know we're not going to bother them. You know, and we... Look.
There she is, right there.
We'll sit here and drift for a second, guys. There she is, right underneath. Right underneath, you guys. If you want to try to get a picture now, sure.
So what'd you think of that? Pretty neat, huh? The captain talked about the manatees.
Yeah.
You could see the manatees. They're absolutely way cool when you could see the manatees swimming along, because Laurel had mentioned the kayakers, right? And it was way cool to see the manatees swimming next to the kayakers and the...
Because the manatees are huge. They're like huge. And they're right next to the kayaks, but they're just curious. They're just like, hi, nice to see you. Hope you're having a good time kayaking. They don't bother anybody. They're just having a nice little time swimming along with the kayakers.
Yes.
And they swam over by our boat, and even under the boat, he had cut the engine, of course, so there was no engine going on. But we have some video that you'll see of the girl, well, he said she was a girl manatee, going under the boat.
Yeah, there were 2 manatees. There was a smaller one that the captain, of course, said that was the male, and then he pointed out the female that he thought was pregnant, which...
And she was
you were
hundreds
seeing in
of
the
pounds.
So,
Hundreds
with
and
that being
hundreds.
said, and there were a lot of birds there. Let's go back to the video
Yeah, let's go back and
Let's go
see
back.
some of the video.
and see some more.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit here. So hope you enjoy it. Thanks.
And he's got to get over there and bang his head on that limb to get that fish off. He's got that thing so far stuck on his beak, he can't get it off. That's a big fish, too, for that. You know? Why doesn't he look for a fork and a branch and, wedge it in there? You know what I mean? But I guess they're not that smart. He's got like a little crevice there he might be working with. But he'll start banging his head.
Yeah, you gotta make sure it dies first.
That fish is still pretty much alive, so once he gets it off, he better get that thing. That's a big fish, man. Folks, we're definitely going to be late. He's trying to tenderize that fish a little bit. Yeah, I know. He's having a hard time getting that fish off of there. But they're busy. They got to feed those little babies, and that's all they eat is fish, so. Yeah, so their beaks are serrated like a knife. So sometimes once they stab it on there, they have a hard time getting it off. If it's a smaller fish, they might just stab it with one either the top or the bottom beak, you know what I mean? But if it's a bigger fish and they're really hard up, they'll jam that beak right through them, and that's what happened here. What did he do?
I said he ought to just put his foot on it. Pull his,
Yeah. I don't know if they're like that, double jointed like that. I don't know. Yeah, that would make sense to put your foot on it.
Oh, he got it.
Well, come on, you guys, come on. No, wait, he's not going to get that down. No, oh. I think he's having second thoughts. He's got him facing the right way. They always swallow him head first. Look at the size of that fish, my nerve.
Look at that.
Yeah.
He's like, nope.
Yes, they do.
Nope.
What happened to him?
You can't get it in.
Get him, get him.
He got it. Oh.
He's got him. He's got him.
He got it.
Okay, here we go. Oh,
Why did he drop it?
So, all those birds that we're seeing, I don't even remember what they all are. Do you remember what they are?
There were all different kinds of cranes and big gray.
Well, there
Big
was that
gray.
one bird that I can't remember what kind of bird he was. And that type of bird impales fish. And he had impaled this fish and he couldn't get it off his bill.
Yeah, and we will show you the bird physically trying to get this fish off of his beak because he stabbed it so hard and it was huge. The fish was way bigger than he could have handled. You've heard that saying about biting off more than you can chew. Well, he stabbed a fish that was more than he could handle.
Oh yeah, I mean, eventually and then when he finally got a hold of it, it was too big for him to swallow.
Yeah, and then
He lost it.
He lost it.
He kept trying to get it. You see his big long neck sticking in the water? He
Yeah.
kept trying to get it, but nah, no such luck. He had to find another one.
Yep, had to find a smaller fish that was more the right size for him.
He did. So, well, I was kind of lucky because where I was sitting on the side, there was this little family, and the guy was the best gator spotter ever, wasn't he?
He was a very good gator spotter.
And he kept spotting all the gators, and he kept pointing them out. There's a gator, there's a gator. And so we even had an opportunity to bring the boat in right next to the gators. So
So one of the reasons that the gators were hard to see, and you'll see this when you see the video, is that they are sort of hanging out in the lily pad stuff. So they're just kind of, I don't really know if it was on top of the shore, but the lily pads typically grow in the water, so it might have just been a little tiny bit of some area that he could stay put in. But it was really cool.
yeah, but they were in the marshes.
Yeah.
Like they were in the marshes, in the marshy areas. But
They were.
and they were just like hanging out. And there's all these kayakers going down the river, and they're just like hanging out. The captain brought the boat right up next to the gator, and we got a really good look at them. In fact, I'm going to show you some right now, so you can see some of the gators that we saw, which was really amazing because they were just hanging out. Everybody was the kayakers. And
They
the
were
boats.
chilling out.
Yeah.
So one of the things, yet another thing that we did, and we'll talk about that too, but at another thing that we did, they were talking about the fact that alligators will eat and then they don't need to eat again for a week. So if the alligator's eaten, they're not going to be interested in you, and everybody says alligators are generally not interested in you anyway unless they're ginormous.
Yeah, that's what they say. Now, I wouldn't be walking my dog down by the water.
No.
Because that's a dog size is like perfect mammal size.
Yeah.
Snatch up a dog. But from what we've heard, they don't want any too much to do with people.
No, they just think people are kind of crazy and they don't really want to have
Which they would be right about that.
Yes.
People are.
Did you want to tell a little bit about that?
No, he's too big.
I did tell
Now
about
that I got my
Oh, no, I guess
glasses
I
on, I
didn't
can
tell
tell that thing's way too big. We don't want to mess. Let's just make an estimate. I would say 10, 12 feet. What do you think?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the biggest one I've seen so far.
Wow. That is amazing. Excuse me. Don't go to Taco Bell. If you do, don't eat the beans. Babies, maybe 1 year old, 2 years old. Alligators grow about 1 foot a year, up until they get to about 6 feet long. And then they'll keep growing, but their growth will slow down a little bit. But I'm going to drift over here. You guys help me look in this grass and see if we can find a smaller alligator in here. For some reason, they feel safe over here. That's a big alligator, isn't it? There's Anhinga standing on that tree there. Look at the hairs on this bird's head. They'll grow hairs on their head to impress the female.
Another big one on the right.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, that's a big one, isn't he?
That's different.
Oh yeah, that's
Is
big.
that a poison alligator?
No such thing, buddy.
You go over to St. Augustine to that alligator place over there. Boy, you'll see some big alligators over there.
Gang of the kayakers up there.
Yeah, did anybody ever go to that alligator place over by St. Augustine?
Yes. Yeah.
What's that called? Gatorland or something?
Yeah. It's a
Something like
zoological.
that. I'll tell you what, man. You think you're seeing a big alligator? You go over there, boy. They're big. Yeah. Yep. 15, 16 feet long.
Okay.
I mean, they're huge,
That
man.
Hudson. Look at, he's moving.
There, look.
Watch Hudson. He's watching.
I think so. I got his. I think I
Now
got
you get an alligator that big over here, they'll take them out. You know what I mean? They're not going to have them get that big and get to be too dangerous.
He moved.
Yep, another gator there. Ooh, that's a big one too. Yeah. Yeah, they don't move a lot.
They move a lot.
I think they sit. There's the alligators there. You thought it was a monkey, yep.
What's moving? What's moving? What's moving?
Yep, there's 2 of them.
See it? See it? It move. See it moving? See it moving?
I see it.
It's so cool that it's moving.
Yeah, they're over in the grass.
Look at them, buddy. They're both moving. They're going somewhere.
So yeah.
They're
So
hungry.
anyways,
See that wheel?
back to Henry Ford. So Henry Ford, he was a gentleman. He brought the cars back and he fixed them. But there's an old saying that came from that.
Amazing opportunity to see all these creatures and wonderful nature. And we'll talk a little bit about the cypress too, because the cypress are amazing.
So keep watching, because yeah, I did get some video footage of the cypress,
Yeah.
and you can see the roots because the river was down a little bit. They're in a drought.
And these cypress are hundreds and hundreds of years old.
Yeah, you can
It's
see the roots
Amazing.
in it, and how
I know
they're
we keep saying amazing,
coming out
but
of water.
it really was.
Well, we're going to take you now to another place that we haven't mentioned, and the captain kind of rode in on it slowly, and then he told us what we were looking at. So let's take him and let the captain tell them what they were looking at.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll be back in just a flash. What were they looking at?
A dock over there. That's called the Sea Hunt dock. That's where they filmed that show on TV, Sea Hunt, with Lloyd Bridges. Yeah. Now, if you saw the show on TV, you would swear they were out in the middle of the ocean somewhere. Well, guess what? All 155 episodes were filmed right there in that lagoon. Now, folks, that's the magic of photography. And like we were talking earlier, that tree fell on top of that building there, and they still won't clean that up. Yeah, they're like, well, it's nature. I'm like, well, why don't you clean that up so people can walk over there and enjoy that? You know, it's kind of a cool little thing.
Yeah, it is cool, especially if you saw the show.
Huh? I know. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they got a piece of plywood in there with a hole in the middle of it. And you're supposed to look like Lloyd Bridges, and you know what I mean? It's really cool. So I wish they would clean that up, but I don't think they will. I don't know.
So what'd you think of that? If you've ever, like, if you're old enough to remember this show Sea Hunt, that starred Lloyd Bridges. I don't remember who starred with Lloyd Bridges, but I just remember Lloyd Bridges in the show Sea Hunt.
I want to say Luke Halpern, but I'm not sure.
Yeah,
'Cause
I don't know,
he was a really cute kid. His son in the show, and I had a kind of a thing for him when I was a little
Well, did
bitty
Jeff Bridges ever star in Sea Hunt? I'm not sure if
kid.
he did or
No,
not.
I think they did do. They were like on individual episodes, though.
Might have been, but anyway.
I'll have to look it up.
It used to.
Because we don't really remember that
It
exactly.
did look like they were out in the ocean. I mean, I remember watching that show,
Yeah.
and you thought they were totally out in the ocean, and as it turned out, they were just right there, Silver Spring State Park in that
the lagoon.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Like,
Yeah, that's
and
pretty
that,
cool.
and of course, by then, in that time frame, they could do a lot of trick photography kind of stuff to make you think things they wanted to make you think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. But anyways, it was a great show. I don't know if
I loved Sea Hunt. Sea Hunt was way cool.
if you can remember it or not.
It was kind of around the same time as Flipper, but Flipper was actually filmed at another Florida place that we may talk about at one point, but it's Marineland. Not the Marineland that you're thinking of, probably,
Not in California.
but Marineland here, which is conservation, and
But that's another episode.
that's another
Let's get
episode.
back to Silver Springs.
So, yes.
So we did a little walk, and I have some so we
So
kind of
if-
ended our adventure there by taking a little walk down the path along the river, and we saw this really cool old tree and a bunch of really cool old trees, and that was the day pretty much. It was
Well, and we also got to see this venue where they did music festivals and music concerts, and it looks like a little southern mansion with columns in the front. It was really cool, but they still use it for weddings and things like that.
yeah, special
But
occasions.
it was cool.
But it's a really cool place, and if you ever have a chance to go there, I'm going to go back. I know that much.
We are going to go back.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause there's so much to see and do, and we just sort of just barely scratched the surface.
It was really an awesome, fun day.
It was. And the people that we were on the boat with were fun and nice. And the captain that we had of our boat was funny and really knowledgeable. And he had the history down and he knew about all the birds. And when you're watching the videos, you'll hear him talking about some of the birds. They're just astounding, and some of them are huge.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's
So-
it's really, really cool.
So if you've ever been there, let us know in the comments. Let us know if you've been there, what your experience was, or if you'd like to go there, or you've been someplace similar. Maybe you've been somewhere where you saw a bunch of gators or a bunch of manatees, or went down the river in a glass bottom boat. Let us know. Share your experiences in the comments, and let us
Yeah,
know
we'd
where
love
you've
to
been.
hear about it.
Yeah, we'd love to hear about your adventures. And we thank you for joining us on this one. And
Absolutely.
oh yeah, thanks for coming along and sharing this with us. And
And we hope you had a good time. Please let us know.
yeah, let us know if you liked the video. Then please subscribe to us so you'll see the next adventures that we have coming up.
And hit the like button.
hit
'Cause
the
that
like
always
button
counts.
if you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And that lets us know. And we really appreciate you coming along. And we hope you come along for the next one.
Absolutely. So,
And it's always a surprise. You never know where we're going to be. We never know where we're
I was
gonna
just
be.
going to say that. I don't think we know where we're going to be half the
No,
time.
we never know. We never know where we are half the time, right? But no, we don't. It's always going to be a surprise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
So, and if you see us kind of doing this, we're kind of coming into the no-see-em time of year, so there will be probably a lot of,
We're sitting outside in the woods.
yeah,
There's a lot of That's all
tiny
right.
little winged creatures.
Anyway, well, thanks for coming along, guys.
Thank
And,
you.
we'll
And we'll
you know
see
what?
you in the next video.
We'll see you in the next video.
Yep.